Today we've got a very good day on our hands because this right here is a brand new Norco Enduro e-bike. Obviously we've got it here, we'll have a ride and let's have a chat. So this right here is the brand new Norco Range VLT, and if you already know Norco's range, you know that this is the Enduro bike, the Enduro e-bike should I say. So this bike runs Bosch's Performance Line CX motor, so you can get all the updates with the e-MTB Plus and kind of like traction control modes and stuff like that. So it's all nice and modern. What battery have you got in that, Neil?
800.
We've got an 800 watt hour battery, so it should have plenty of range as well. As you can see, this bike looks incredibly similar to the Sight VLT that we reviewed, and I'll put a card up here. And that's because it uses a very similar frame, but in order for the bike to kind of sit into its enduro capabilities, it gets a longer fork, so that's 170mm now, and we've got a longer stroke shock, so that's a 65mm stroke shock. That brings 160mm of suspension travel. As we've become accustomed to from Norco bike, this bike uses the VPS HP suspension layout, so it's a high pivot, and Norco tunes its suspension kinematics for each bike. So this is an Enduro e-bike, so yeah, we've got all the anti-squat and stuff. So it's tuned for pedaling, but also for downhill performance. So as this is very similar to the Sight VLT, it gets a very similar geometry, but of course it's tweaked a little bit through the longer stroke shock and fork. So we've got a 63.5 degree head tube angle, we've got a 472.5mm reach, we've got a 77 degree seat tube angle there. Of course it is a mullet bike, so we've got a 29-inch wheel at the front and a 650B wheel at the rear. That's all for the details at the moment. Let's go and give it a ride and we'll go over some of the specifications. Okay, so the Range VLT. This is a big, full power, Bosch powered e-mountain bike. Built for Enduro. Doing a track that I don't really know and I'm knackered, so like bear with me please. But this bike will set you back £8,400, and you know, you've got everything you need on here, nothing that you don't. It's all reasonably posh. So we've got, oh my feet going everywhere. We've got Shimano's XT Di2 drivetrain, which is all very nice. We've got Fox factory suspension bits. So that's a 38 up front and the newest X2 at the rear. We've got Crank Brothers Synthesis Enduro wheels in a nice shiny silver colourway. Got Continental Cryptotal wheel tyres, front and rear. Shimano XT brakes, oh my god, stiffened up there a bit, sorry. And yeah, it's all pretty cool stuff. Oh, chunky. And yeah, you know, there's nothing to complain about here. Okay, so like if you compare the geometry of this bike to kind of most other modern e-enduro mountain bikes, it's rather short. So the 472.5 reach isn't really that much. But that means that Norco's managed to take advantage of the fact that a high pivot mountain bike grows as it compresses through its suspension. So the chainstay length grows because of the rearward axle path, and oh my god, Norco kind of takes full advantage of that. So you get stability when you need it, so through tech and when things get chunky. But you've got like a really easy bike to corner, like it doesn't grow horribly under cornering loads. Alright, so because this bike isn't crazy long, but then it kind of stretches under compression, you get kind of the best of both worlds. So like it's super forgiving, got like a stiff fork and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, because it's not the longest, you can, well, it's lovely in the corners. Real good fun bike. But you've got that kind of enduro sensibility where you can plow it through things. You know, you've got sensitive rear end. Of course, 38's real good with grip X2 damper. But yeah, it's got that kind of enduro kind of stiffness and kind of heavy hitting, you can put it into anything kind of vibe. But you've got a lovely hint of agility, so it's like surprisingly versatile. You know, you've got a big old battery range and stuff on there, so you can ride it far, but it just doesn't feel massively like a super chunky beast that's only built to do real hard, tricky trails. You know, none of the trails that I'm doing here today are too crazy. But it's like, yeah, when things tighten up a bit, it's just, ooh, happy to get round those corners. Like this, there's a tight section here filled with sniper routes. I can't see anything. But it doesn't feel like a boat. And that is also because of the mullet wheel at the rear, which keeps things nice and lively. But also opens up a ton of room over the back of the bike. So when things steepen up a little bit, you know, you're not buzzing your ass on the rear wheel. Ooh. And this Shimano XT brakes, surprisingly punchy. No, it's a Bosch powered bike, so that's all pretty much as you would expect. Got a nice 63.5 degree head angle, so you've got plenty of support. Like, it feels more natural on steeper stuff. Like, it's a bit more planted. You can point it where it wants to go. When it's a bit flatter, it kind of wiggles around and wanders a bit. Yeah, killer machine.